Greetings, everyone, and welcome to another podcast edition of Create Yourself Imagery, Intimacy, Innovation, a place where people from all walks of life and various backgrounds come together to share their transformative personal and professional stories of restoration, confidence, clarity, and empowerment. They are here to offer their helpful tools, resources, and affirming guidance. I'm Joyce Kiles, your global speaker, author, trainer, and coach. And if you are ready to transition, transform, and thrive, this is indeed the podcast for you. If this is your first time joining us, welcome to the show. If you have been here more than once, we welcome you back. And as always, we encourage you to tell a friend to tell two more friends to come and join us on this transformative experience. As always, especially for those of you who have been following me for a while, you know I'm always excited about my guests. And this week is no exception. Some people I've known for a long time, and then there are some guests that I've just come to know fairly recently, but have been following their work, and I just knew that they would fit our audience. And this young lady is just no exception, especially when you hear what she has to share and what she's doing. You will understand why this is not only professionally gratifying for me, but personally gratifying for me to have her on the show. So I'm not going to take up any more time. I'm just going to present to some and introduce to others none other than this beautiful young lady. And you all, she is just as beautiful on the inside as she is the outside. So I just want to throw that in. Thank you so much for agreeing to be this week's guest. Her name is Monika Thornton-Lawrence. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much, Joyce. I appreciate the opportunity to be on your show, to listen, to chat, to learn, and just amazing to see the amazing work that you do. So I'm very honored to be here.
Well, thank you very much. And so we're just going to jump right on in. So this podcast is called Create Yourself Imagery, Intimacy, Innovation. And so what I would love for you to do is to just talk with our audience for a few minutes, a little bit about who you are, which they can see your bio underneath. You know, if they clicked on and listened to the show, they can already see your amazing bio. But I
Yeah.
always love for our guests to share in their own words who they are and
Mm.
tell us about your create yourself journey. So for the next few minutes, the floor is absolutely yours.
Thank you so much. So my name is Monika Thornton-Lawrence. I am a Georgia girl who now lives in Seattle. I moved here about 5 years ago, and it's been an amazing transition. I started my walk with life and journey in the tech field. And I grew it to a little bit more than what I expected to be where I am now. So I'll start with that. I moved to Seattle about 5 years ago for tech. I work in tech, and I work in opportunity to work with people in the community. The biggest thing about me when I started my creator journey was that I wanted to see myself in a different light and show myself and the women in my family that there was life outside of trauma. There was life outside of abuse. There was life outside of things that we went through and did not have the opportunity to share, to talk about, because it was meant for us to keep it in. Okay. And that goes back to 2014. I am the founder of Powerful Beginnings, an organization dedicated to assisting individuals who are experiencing but ready to transition out of abuse, trauma, and domestic violence. We have been a small but mighty grassroots organization that started with just a response to help individuals who need to see themselves better. And it became a way for us, myself, actually, to heal. I am also a domestic violence survivor, and I wanted to be able to show women and individuals experiencing, men or women, that there is love, there is life, there is fun, there is amazing things after you choose yourself, and after you choose to do the things that you're worthy of, and that you didn't think you were. And a big part of my organization became, hey, how can I show other individuals and others that they are worth it? And that there's an opportunity for them to live out their best and most wildest dreams, self-care for themselves, take care of themselves, and look great doing it. And and that was the opportunity where Powerful Beginnings grew. And then we also, it was a way for us to say, hey, to give back to the community, and also provide a way to teach teenagers. Because a lot of the time when we think of domestic violence, we think of adults. But our teens are also exposed to DV trauma. And even though we say kids are resilient, they also go through things in their day to day lives that we don't see as parents, that we don't see as the community. And we need to be able to show up for them in a way that makes them feel supported, seen, happy, and loved. And that's also a mission of Powerful Beginnings, to show teens how to healthy date, how to look out for the signs of bad friendships, how to look out for the signs of intimate partners who just don't have their best interest at heart. And we chose to do that way. About 2020, I moved to Seattle, and I wanted to continue to take the work of Powerful Beginnings to the East Coast, to the West Coast, from the East Coast, and bring it to a chant and bring it to a place in which I think the work is never done. And not just the place, but this, our community, our society now is a place where the work to heal, the work to get better, the work to make sure people around you are happy, healthy, and whole is not done. So um, in 2020, we all know that was a pandemic era. We're in a space where we had to sit down a little bit, had to get back to a place where we didn't know if what was next, right? So how do we make the best of that time? And I started doing content creation from a place of wanting to heal, wanting to feel better, want to find a space that I had community. And social media became that, as a way to utilize what I love, which is fashion, what I love, which is self care, what I love, which is empowering others and inspiring others to be their best selves. So, Powerful Beginnings, of course, we built that through, we were working that through building community online, building a response, like bringing awareness, teaching, educating, advocating, and during one of the most craziest times for DV. But also, how do we show others how to be better, how to show up, and how to show women how to show up? And that was through fashion. I use fashion as a tool for self empowerment, for self care, for joy, regaining your strength, and regaining your resiliency. And I always lead with, like, whenever we change something about ourselves, whenever we change our life, whenever we want to become somebody better or change who we are, we change the things on the outside first, because we want to make sure that we look the part so that internally we feel the part, right? So a big part of that is we change our hair, we change our clothes, we get new outfits. And that's what we grow to do. We grow to love that. And once we see something different on the outside, we're like, oh, I actually like what I see. I actually love what I see. And let's build upon that. Let's use that as a foundation to go to the next level. So, a part of my create yourself journey, or part of my creative journey, was me seeing myself from the externally, feeling better, looking better, healthy, whole, and happy, working out, walking, joy, spending time in my community, but also feeling that presence on the outside so that it can exude from the inside. So, that's a big part of who I am.
And now, audience, you hear why it is that I was so excited when she said yes. Because those who know me really well, those who have, elected to follow me and just learn a little bit about me, that they know my journey includes being a survivor of domestic and financial abuse as well. And so the year that you started your nonprofit is actually the year that I got married again.
Oh,
And
wow.
yeah, so when you talk about powerful beginnings, and so our anniversary date is actually August 1st. And for those who are aware of numbers or follow numbers or think about numbers, eight is the number of new
Okay.
beginnings.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
so it was intentional that we were married August 1st. And
That's
so, yeah,
beautiful.
2014. So yes, I'm approaching another year of marital bliss. I can
That's
honestly say I
beautiful.
am happy. Thank you. Thank you. And so just knowing who you are and studying, learning more about you and your journey and what you do, I just knew that you would make an amazing guest. And that's why I said,
Thank
not
you.
just professionally for me, but personally too. Um, I had a nonprofit as well. And so yours is called Powerful Beginnings.
Yes.
Mine was called Walking into a New Life.
Oh my
So,
God, that's beautiful.
and so we share a similar mission and just all the things that you talked about, you lifted up, the fact that you mentioned this piece around teen and teens and young people. And this month, this is February, so this
Yep.
month is actually Teen Dating
Dating
Violence Awareness Month.
awareness. Yes.
So just you tying that into today's segment was just so spot on. The other piece that I love that I wanted to talk more about and delve into also is your content creation, because it teaches us what it means to pivot at
Yes.
times of adversity and change, because yeah, COVID was a real thing, and it forced a lot of us to have to change, to pivot.
Hmm.
And you also lifted up though what that did in terms of those who may be going through trauma, because it forced people to be in more um, I'm know the word that I want to look for, but basically we had to stay together and be
Correct.
in community with one another,
Yep.
and a bit more isolating. That's the word I'm looking for. It was a bit more
Yes.
isolating for those who were going through trauma, because you're having to be at home or in close proximity of your abuser. So
Correct.
I love that you have mentioned all of these pieces and brought them together, and how it has impacted your journey to Seattle, and that you're doing the work there
Yes.
as well. So,
We're actually running on both coasts. My board of
oh,
directors
wow.
is still in Georgia, so we still have events in Georgia. We still do work in the community in Columbus, Georgia, and Atlanta, and also Seattle. So we run it on both coasts now.
Okay, so that's a good segue then for me to ask. You've shared a little bit already about what you're doing, but I would love for you to do just an even deeper dive about the different services that you're offering, if
Hmm.
they are, bi-coastal, if they're in both
Yeah.
locations. Just what does that look like for those who may be looking for services like yours?
Yeah, sure thing. So our services include a foundation of professional services such as therapy. We do financial counseling, financial literacy, understanding, because more than anything, we want you to be equipped with the knowledge and education to move on from that abusive relationship. A lot of, like you said, financial abuse is an abusive state or compartment of domestic violence that a lot of people don't understand. And that's when you don't have the resources and you feel compelled to stay with your aggressor because you don't have the resources, the financial literacy, understanding, education to move forward. And you stay there because you say, hey, this is the person who takes care of me. And, that's what love is. So, a large part of that is helping them understand financial literacy, understanding that safety plans are very important within a domestic violence relationship. Understanding that you have to build out a financial literacy plan, a legal plan, plan to leave that will bring in your support system that will help you lean into the people that you need to move forward and out, into a new, part of your life. So those are some of the services we provide. We also provide kids professional learning, narcissistic abuse therapy as well, housing support, meaning, hey, I want to now leave. I would need some a little help with maybe a hotel for a few nights. We also have resources where we help fill out applications and get your application completed for housing, for income-based housing as well. This will help you kind of alleviate. You have someone who's going to help you through the process, not say, hey, do this and walk away. You have someone that's going to help kind of hold your hand a little bit to say, hey, you're not alone through this. Let's help you do the things, just the foundation and stuff to help you start fresh, to start new, and to get back to where you need to be. And from there, we do a lot of advocating for individuals who don't have the voice, teaching through these types of back and forth conversations, and very much helpful parts of our journey, and also teaching women how to look for the signs as well. We partner with local law enforcement at times to do defense classes. We teach teens that are in college. We partner with local SA organizations to teach them how to healthy date and also look for the signs while they're on campus, and also defend themselves while they're on campuses as well. So partnerships are huge for us, and partnering with organizations and educators and advocates that are doing the work as well helps us become the middleman to making sure that they have what they need.
I love all of that. This is such a blessing and a treat to have you on the show and being able to talk with us about these important issues, because
Yeah.
I don't care. We can talk about it every day and still will not be enough conversation and action,
Right.
because it happens every day. Abuse is happening every day. And I'm
Yeah.
especially happy that you lift up the point about the financial abuse, in that it's still not understood. I'm still talk with people on all levels. And when I bring up the financial abuse part of conversation, it is still amazing that so many people just are not aware or have not thought
Uh-huh.
about to the degree. And I just shared with someone literally yesterday that the National Network to End Domestic Violence has a survey where they show different statistics, and one of which shows that 99% of those who have gone through domestic abuse have gone through financial abuse as well. So
Yes,
they definitely go hand in hand. And one of my signature topics has been I left, now what? Because we always encourage people to leave, 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 but are we making sure that they have the tools and the resources to leave with, and then
right.
be able to not just survive, but to be able to thrive so that they
Yes.
don't find themselves going back in? So I'm just so pleased that you all are doing the work that you're doing and that you're doing it in two locations. That
Thank
cannot
you.
be easy, but we thank you for the lifting that you are doing.
Thank you so much. It is when you work in this field and you know and you understand when you work in this type of field, you understand that people are most vulnerable when they're trying to leave and when they're trying to, better themselves. And that's when you have to be your strongest mentally, emotionally, physically, and you have to be ready to fight for what you truly, truly desire and what you truly want out of life. And that's when those type of scenarios become in handy, such as building safety plans and making sure everyone is aware. So the work is never done. I will say that. And we all know that. And it takes a community, it takes people partnering together, it takes us, supporting each other in ways that we never have before.
Absolutely, absolutely. Partnerships are key. So those of you who are listening and you're thinking, yes, I definitely want to be more involved, or hey, I hadn't thought about, volunteering or supporting this effort. Here's an agency that you can work with, and they are in Georgia and they're also in Seattle. So, two ways to be able to support. And I'm going to come to, how to connect with you and that kind of thing here in just a few minutes. I want to shift gears though just a bit, because we did talk about this piece with powerful beginnings, but I want to
Yes,
go back to what you shared about you and your work in technology and the content creation and how you got into that. But I know that there are other people who listen to the show. They would love to have more insight on getting into that field, getting into more into technology,
yeah.
content creation. There are a lot of us who are business owners here. And so what does that look like for us as business owners to incorporate content creation into our work? So would
Yes.
love for you to share a bit about that as well.
Yes, content creation became a way for me as an outlet. It started as an outlet to just be creative, learn, grow, and connect with people on the internet. And we always think in for so long, social media has become, oh, it's just for, liking pictures, it's just for mess. But it's what we use it for, it's how we train the algorithm. And a big part of what I wanted to gain from social media was I wanted to see myself in a way where I stretched myself to become creative. And I am a faith based woman, and I always talk about how I want limitless creativity because limitless creativity gets us in spaces that we never would have thought we would be in. It puts us in the, it connected us, right? And it put us in a way, in each other's paths that we were able to kind of like build from this and, help other people learn and grow. So content creation has to become and will and is becoming one of the best ways for entrepreneurs who market themselves from a reasonable hits. They don't need full funding for marketing, and this is a way for them to grow and build. For me as an entrepreneur, as well as being a content creator, I said, hey, how can I use the tools that I already have? How can I make it fun? How can I make it relatable? How can I help women see themselves in a way that says, hey, oh, I can do this. I can get out here and do this. A lot of people, social media scares them. Social media scares us because it's the unknown, right? It's showing up for people who we don't know who's looking at us, but someone's always looking. That's all we know. And we have to be vulnerable and allow ourselves to be the corny person, to be funny, to be witty, to show all our parts of us, to be, show up and be like, oh my God, I'm not having a good day. But hey, what about you? Let's talk. You're talking to something that's not talking back to you, but now social media has allowed you to do that. So, social media and content creation is a powerful tool for marketing. It's a powerful tool for making money. It's a powerful tool for us to connect and build community. What the algorithm does, a lot of people don't know about the algorithm now, is that it's is prioritizing community and prioritizing how people show up on authentically, organically on social media. the pictures are pretty, right? We see the pictures, we love the pictures, those are great, but we also engage with the people who actually show up and be themselves. And those are the ones that we call our influencers, the people that influence us to buy, that influence us to change a little bit about ourselves, to think a little more, to open our eyes to education that's going to teach us. Um, I, I use it as a tool for my kids to learn Black history. Let me be very honest with you. If they aren't going to listen to me teach it, I'm going to send you videos that I know are deemed and ready to teach you great educational background. And that's when they learn, oh, mom, I didn't know that. Okay, that's all I need you to know, that I'm using the tools that are online to show them that, hey, I might be your mom, but I'm also going to educate you through the ways that has helped me. And I think for us as an entrepreneur, setting time apart now to build a social media presence is important. When you think about who you're going to be online, who you want to show up online, it's time to start doing the work to learn how online can benefit you and not just say, oh, and then that's where it goes back to training your algorithm. Are you following people that tell the truth? Are you following people that are authentic? Are you following businesses that show up and truly build community? And that's where the best parts of social media come in at, is when you do that. So as an entrepreneur, I challenge you to find a way to show up in your niche or in the area that you, in industry that you love, and use everyday relatable pieces, storytelling, creative journeys, talking about recaps, reviews, to bring to your audience to help them understand how important it is for them to support you and be closer to you. You are the asset as the business owner. Now you build your community support around that. And the best ways to do that is with Instagram, it's with Threads, it's with YouTube. YouTube Shorts has become a great platform for people not to do long form content. But now it's a short form way for you to still connect with your audience and monetize your passions and monetize what you're doing. A lot we can go always into ads too. Building out ads will be great for entrepreneurs. But before you get to say, hey, I don't have an ad budget, how can I show up every day? Well, hey, start batching your content. Start making days where you say, hey, I need to film 3 or 4 videos for the weeks because I got other work to do during the week and I don't want to focus or burn out on social media. So batching your content allows you to give that opportunity for you to build out 4 videos, build out 5 videos for the week, and then push those out throughout the week. Engage with your community, talk back, give them joy, let them talk back to you. And then that's how you're bridging that gap. And that's what your marketing piece is. And now that word of mouth that you've been giving in social media goes farther than you think it could. So for me, it's become a way for me to build a community through fashion. I also host a podcast called Fashion Talk Tuesday on Instagram, and that allows me we highlight work. Designers, artists, fashionistas, model coaches, and fashion organizations, and the PNW, which is the Pacific Northwest, which is comprised of like Seattle, Washington, Oregon, all those places. And we show off that there's a community of people in the fashion community, and they're doing great things. So content creation doesn't necessarily have to be hard anymore. It has to be you, what makes you happy, and then building that community around you.
I love this. This is so, so wonderful because you're sharing the ways to do it in a way that you can find joy. It doesn't have to be taxing, you know, it doesn't have to be expensive.
Mhm.
Ads tend to scare people when we think of, content creation. That's one of the first things that pops in our heads is about, well, how much do I need to spend in ads? And
Yes.
what you're sharing with us is that that's not necessarily the case. It doesn't have to be that way,
Nope.
so, and then what you're getting from it, be very clear about what it is that you're trying to get out of the social media space. And so if you are focused and intentional on what you're there for, then that will make the journey of it a lot more palatable. And
Yes.
do what you need to do and then get off. So I love that you mentioned about batching too, because that's important. If you just set some time aside to say, you know what, for the next few hours, I'm going to spend time here
Yeah.
working just in this, and this, so scheduling it out. And that actually helps to give you more time to work on
Correct.
those other things that you may enjoy more. So for me, I can tell you that I have not been a person who was that crazy initially about content creation. But now I have found more joy in it. And in
Yes.
part because of what you've said. I love, though, the part that you did mention about community and the importance of community and being intentional about who you are reaching out to and who you're
Yeah.
following so that it makes the community more meaningful for you in what you're doing. So this
Yes.
has been this has been amazing, and just both parts. I've definitely wanted to highlight the nonprofit end, but
Thank
I
you.
also wanted to lift up all the amazing work that you do in the business community and how those two can marry
Yeah.
and you can be holistically successful. So, as we are coming to a close with our time together, I would love for you to share with our audience, the best ways. Again, they can see, how to contact you, but some people have, I prefer Instagram over TikTok, or I prefer LinkedIn over, email. So, share
Yeah.
with our audience the best ways to connect with you, number one.
Yes.
And then also any last words, comments, advice, how to partner with you, just all the things that make certain that we are connecting with you.
Thank you so much. This has been an amazing opportunity, and I just wish you and your show the best.
Thank you.
Thank you. But to connect with me, I'm on Instagram and TikTok as Believe in You Are Power, Believe in Your Power. And that's on Instagram and TikTok. On for the organization, we're powerful underscore beginnings on Instagram, and also powerful beginnings on Facebook. On LinkedIn and on Facebook, I'm Monika Thornton-Lawrence. So feel free to connect with me on there. Partnerships, you feel free to stop by my Instagram and you have my email there. But feel free to connect, to join, to partner. I look forward to all the things, and I love building community. So thank you so much. Oh, and let me
And
give you the organization's
yes,
website.
please do. Yes.
It is powerfulbeginnings.org. That is the organization's website. And feel free to join us, to connect with us, and learn more about events that we have coming in the future.
All right. Thank you so very much. You have been an amazing guest. Personally,
Thank you.
professionally, I'm over the moon. I am going to go back and revisit some of the things that you shared with us because I see where they apply to me. And so I always tell people, it's selfish. I want the word to get out to everyone, all my listeners, but the people that I bring on, I'm learning from them too.
Yes,
So yeah, this has
we're learning
been
together.
amazing. Yes, yes, we are. And we're going to continue on this journey together. So thank you so much for your time, your gifts, and your talents, and for sharing your story and what you shared about women and fashion and showing up for themselves, from the inside out, outside in, just
Yes.
being very intentional about that. Those that see me in person now, y'all know I just cut like all my hair and I colored it brown.
Yeah, and it's beautiful.
Oh, thank you so much. And it's in an effort, I'm in a new season of doing some new things and I wanted
Yeah.
to try something new. And I love it. It's been good for me. So I don't know, I may grow it all back out again, or I
And
may
that's
keep it
your
shut.
business.
But whatever it is, it will be good and true for me. So
Yeah.
again, thank you so much for being our guest today.
I appreciate you. Thank you so much for your time, and I appreciate your beautiful audience. Have a great one.
And for excuse me, for all of our audience members, as she just said, yes, I want to make sure that you have a great one because you all know how I sign off. I always say, until next time, go forward and create the life that you desire and deserve. And remember that you
Ooh.
can do so at any age. Let's continue
Yeah.
to transition, transform, and thrive.